Stop. What if I told you that everything you know about debt is wrong? Isn't that debt just about money? It's about power. And its 5,000-year history is going to completely blow your mind. Forget that story they taught you in school about people bartering trading goats for bread or chickens for pots. That's a myth. The truth is, debt came first. Way before cash. Way before coins. We're talking ancient Mesopotamia, where societies were built on complex systems of credit. They kept track of who owed what on clay tablets. And here's the crazy part. They had something called a debt jubilee. When the debt burden on the population got too heavy, the king would just wipe the slate clean. Forgive everyone's debts. Why would they do that? Because they understood something we've forgotten. Massive, unpayable debt doesn't just crash an economy, it tears apart the very fabric of society. It was about social control, not just numbers on a ledger. For centuries, from Sumeria to ancient Rome, debt was a tool. It could create social bonds, but it could also lead to bondage, literally enslaving citizens who couldn't pay up. This is where the big revelation comes in, thanks to the brilliant anthropologist David Graeber. He argued that debt, at its core, is simply a promise. It's a fundamental human relationship. Money didn't create debt. Debt actually created money. Think about it. An IOU is a social agreement. Money just became a way to quantify and trade those promises. But somewhere along the way, we got trapped. We shifted from seeing debt as this flexible, social promise that could be negotiated and even forgiven, to seeing it as a cold, hard, mathematical transaction. A moral failing. If you can't pay, you're a bad person. But history shows us that's a relatively new idea. For most of human history, the idea that all debts must be paid was seen as absurd. Societies recognized that life happens, situations change, and rigid systems break. So, what does this all mean for you and your student loans, your credit card bill, your mortgage? It means that your personal debt isn't just a number on a screen. It's not just a personal problem or a moral failure. It's the end result of 5,000 years of power, politics, and shifting social rules. Understanding this history is incredibly empowering. It allows you to step back and see the bigger picture. It gives you permission to stop blaming yourself and start thinking strategically. This isn't just about budgeting better. It's about understanding the system you're in. When you realize that the rules of debt have been written and rewritten for millennia, you realize you have the power to challenge the narrative and write your own rules for financial freedom. If this idea rocked your world, I highly recommend diving deeper. Read the book Question Everything You've Been Told and start your journey to reclaiming your power. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more ideas that change the way you see the world.